Welcome to Poetry Wave, poetry collage that connects minds, that connects the continents and also the hearts. In this third attempt, we have with us great Sudeep Sen, Bibhu Padhi, Lakshmi Kannan, Sunil Sharma, Usha Kishore, Riju Raj, Yohannan, Meenakshi Goswami and Padma Priya. We have taken poets from different backgrounds, different cultures, from different parts of India to present India in a whole. I know, and the editors understand that India is so vast a country, there is so many to take, but the limitation of space and limitation of time, we could include these only 8 poets. It does not mean that there are no possibilities. Of course, inclusion is not exclusion. Inclusion means there is a possibility to include others in new dimensions, in new perspectives, in new collages in future. Thank you all.
I'll start this poem it's titled Offering, and it's for all of you. The kindness of libation, lyric and blood, her endless notes left for me little secrets, graces, trills recorded on blue and purple parchment to be lipped, tasted, devoured. Only the essence remains, its stickiness, its juice, its memory. Seamless juxtaposition, the brute and the passion, dry of the bone and wet of the sea, coarseness of the page and smooth of the nib's iridium. I try and trace a line, a very long line. The ink blots as this line's linear edge dissolves and frays, like capillary threads gone mad, twirling in the deep heat of the tropics, threads unraveling, each sinew tense with the want of moisture and the other's flesh. There are no endings here, only beginnings. Precious incipients, translucent drops of sweat, perched precariously on a collarbone, waiting to slide, roll unannounced into the gullies that yearn to soak in the rain. Heartbeats shift the shape of globules as they alter their balance and color, changing their very point of gravity, constantly deceiving the other. I stand wanting more of the bone's dry edge, the infinite blur of desire, the dream, the wet, the salt, the ink, and the underside of her skin.
The title of my poem is A History of Things. Soon we shall hear about today, drawing to our night, offering us a description of how yesterday we had found ourselves within the night before at this time. We shall recall how the day before yesterday, leaning over the shadows of things we loved some 30 years ago, when no one saw us and we didn't care for the harsh life and heat of the Indian day. We talked about the changes in nearer things, how soon things turned and turned until they became smaller and smaller. Our friendships lost in time's desert territory, cold mountains of forgetting. Today, loss greets us like new friends to build up relationships through the remaining future, store them like those memories which so carefully keep themselves far within us. And quite frankly, we never thought it would happen someday like today, in the middle of our children's daily growth through our ancestors, long gone parents, friends, their names. Now, at this hour, you can only hear a mixed sound of memory, history, of nights and days which have forgotten us, the crumpling of old, brittle papers.
Greetings from India. I'm Lakshmi Kannan, and this program, The Heart Within, featuring contemporary world poetry, has been curated beautifully by Dr. Jaydeep Sarangi and Dr. Basudhara. It returns us to the warmth and the togetherness of the crackling fireplace that each one of us carries within herself or himself. It has been curated with great sensitivity and imagination, and I thank both of them for having invited me to join all the other poets from across the world who have read poems that assert the grit, the human struggle, the empathy against the global pandemic. I'll read a poem from you from the latest collection, Sipping the Jasmine Moon. It is titled, If You Want to Visit. As some of you may have guessed, you in this poem is that visitor who may visit me any moment to make this moment the last one in my life. Still, I celebrate the heart and the creativity. If you want to visit. If you want to visit me, now is the time. Yes, now. The wholesome aroma of rotis being made, wafting out of the kitchen, spices sautéed in hot oil, the fresh smell of sliced cucumber, chewy tomatoes dripping after a wash, children laughing as they chase each other and scamper about, the family gathering around the living room like homing birds. Sound of prayer bells in the evening, whirls of incense scenting the rooms, the smile in the eyes of my son, the swish of her dress as his wife moves about with a serene look on her face. The phone carrying voices of friends as they chat, warm and close, like they are right inside my room. Come, visit me now. I'll not have a word of complaint. I'll gather all of these and leave with you. Thank you.
Namaste. I would like to thank Jaydeep Sarangi and Basudhara Roy for having given me this wonderful opportunity to take part in the contemporary Indian poetry video collage. I will be reading from my third collection, Immigrant, a poem entitled Chanting the Vedas. I have preceded the poem with an epigraph of Usha Sukta from the Rig Veda. Usha Sukta is a hymn to Usha or Ushas, the goddess of dawn. Chanting the Vedas. Bhadradatriksha urviya vibhasyutte Shochirmanavo Dhyamaptan Avirvakshaha Krinushe Shumbhamanusho Devi Rochamana Mahorbihi. I chant the Vedas. I invoke a dawn goddess who unveils her bosom unabashedly to the sun god. Named after her, every morning I chant a woman mantra to an alien sun. I do not understand the essence of my chant, but I close my eyes to its music. When the sun rises each morning, he tells me that I have been anointed in the waters of the Ganges, that I have reincarnated as sinless woman. I have reincarnated into another so gradually that I didn't even realize until my own God spoke to me in an alien tongue. I do not know which of my gods touched my closed palms and bequeathed exile, where I flounder in lost womanhood, with sindoor bleeding from my forehead. Vedas are a distant soundtrack woven into my mind that not even new verse can erase. A ghost narrative that haunts me day in and day out. Thank you.
Good evening from suburban Mumbai. This is Sunil Sharma reading his poem Words for the Great Initiative The Hearth Within by two of my literary friends, Jaydeep and Basudhara. I am very thankful to them for providing me this wonderful platform to connect with fellow poets. The poem goes like this. In the colonial style bungalow on the steep hill that overlooks the lake, nights are different than the days in slight degrees and textures, although both are similar stretches, long, predictable, and dull in these corona imposed curfews that try and frustrate the human patience and will globally. The grammar of living has changed, so is the syntax and idiom of expressions. The rooms are confined, yet vast expanses of white, pink, and blue open up within. The doors are locked, inner doors unlocked. In the drawing room, on mild wintry evenings, a merry fire burns in the stony valley of the hearth, and old laughter can be heard of the colonial masters now departed and gone, faded narratives forever assigned to some dim margins of a former empire in decline and declining in its post-colonial form. The yellow light leaps up and deftly turns the stuffy room stocked with symbols, trophies and guns and mementos into an orange-hued slice of the past that awaits for its sole occupants trapped in a bubble strange, a new dawn and fresh epistemologies and bird songs. Last lines of this poem. On the cusp, almost, this uncrystallized moment, step out and embrace the wind that is gathering up and heralds the approaching storm. Thank you very much. Hope you might have liked this poem. Catch you up again on some other platform. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.
Hello friends, very happy to be a part of this e-collage of poetry, and thank you Jaydeep and Basudhara for inviting me to be a part of this. I'm going to read a poem which is part of a series that I wrote a couple of years back while traveling in Gujarat. I was visiting these salt workers in those far-flung salt pans. They lived a life that somehow reminds me of this lockdown period. Their lives seemed an extended longing for touch. Today, as we face this information overload during this lockdown, without being able to really touch and feel and sense, we face the biggest of all questions too. What is truth? There's a seeking of truth in this time like no other time. There's a lot of fake news around us. We don't know what to follow, what is to be believed. But all these actually make our quest for truth more intense. And this poem, Mahua, it's about this intoxicating desert flower that brings the touch of truth and happiness to that lone desert dweller. I read this at a time when we are living a rather touchless life and chasing our elusive truth. The satirist to a fictional friend, Sebastianos. Mahua, I'm drunk on delight, so may I hold your hand, Sebastianos, while we walk. You must bear the spectacle that I am now and claim your desire to sing despite your voice. It's a pact. An evergreen tree has taken root in my heart and spread its wayward boughs into my words. Its foliage in a seed is as irresistible as a dark lover. It presses joy onto my skin. I am fueled by this unction of ecstasy. Look, Sebastianos, the toxic leaves spread themselves on the sizzling whiteness. They are a color that surpasses all the wild histories of tussle. It is time to tell you how I extract symphonies from the plain sky. It's our secret. This revelation has come to me from the Mahua, a lone flower dancing itself out in a desert brew's sweet abandon. The butter tree in me has spawned this pale green recklessness that draws my eyes way beyond the noon's splintered fringes. I see an interminable line of crimson stars worshipping silence. I witness music as Digambara, clad in pure, relentless Akash, and instantly know how to quote it, to reach its naked truth. A shimmering series of black holes whose absorption is fearless. Light fills my feet. The heady flower enters my voice and sets it free. My song connects with 1,000 alert sounds in this desert heartland. I dance in readiness to die, in utter willingness to be or not be a vision. Sebastianos, sing of this mud of Mahua. I want to listen to your rapture. Let me see how your tongue comes loose and you talk way faster than your history would ever let you do. In happiness, in wondrous
Hello everyone, I'm Meenakshi Goswami from the beautiful Tejpur of India's northeast state of Assam. Thank you Dr. Jaydeep and Dr. Basudhara for having me in this beautiful program. The poem I'm reciting is from my book, The Sensuous Zephyr. The title of the poem is Urge Hidden. Why the mystic night must be so dark, and stars its only light? Has the nice feeling gone? Will it never come back again? Oh no. The night really smells good and it is peaceful. The soft whisper of the trees and falling of twigs, the calm rustling of leaves are the only sounds heard. The stars shine brightly above like a bed embedded with roses, with a crystal in the center. Ah, it's so beautiful. But there's the urge that's hidden, an urge so possessed, which seems to grow? Don't you want to beat the wind that slaps your face? Yes, outshine the spark that thunders. Go and kill the hate that burns within. Satisfy your desire that rumbles. I know you can grow much louder than the storm, stronger even born. But somehow I feel it stays hidden. Now please don't let your feelings hide. Turn it into a higher tide. Make the fragrance deep in memory. The happiness you deserve, take it. Trust yourself and give a nod. And then feel. And also make me feel the ecstasy of love. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Namaste, I am Dr. S. Padma Priya. Today I will be reading my poem Song of Hope from my first collection of poems Great Heights, which was published in 2003. This poem is on page 22 of Great Heights. Song of Hope. Hither there shall be no grievance, today, tomorrow, every day, in all seasons. In the day of hope, every man will consider the other as his brother, and the two will take steps together. The rays of sunlight in the era of hope will be brighter when there is no terror. Each heart will be kinder. In the day of hope, no creation of God will be more grateful than man, nor more generous. In the era of hope, women will be treated with honor, not as objects of pleasure. Take it from me, this is not my last word as yet. I say this without fear. Thank you.
Greetings from Jamshedpur, Jharkhand. Bringing together this third collage for the Hearth within has been a wonderful experience. And we have been touched by the fact that so many poets have showered their love and attention to bring up this beautiful work. We are immensely grateful to each of them, and as we realize that the Hearth within is not just a series of video collages, it is a journey, a poetic journey that has broken up with the past, that has taken up to this new virtual platform to come up with a rich and thriving community of poet friends. Thank you to each one of you for your wonderful contribution. Thank you so much.